We are going to do a show about football today. There'll be no shenanigans. There'll be no off-color jokes. No BS. Just a boring football show. And by the end, you're going to say, why did I watch that? With those two very vanilla and boring hosts. That's our new promise to you.
Oh, baby, we are here.
We will steer
you in the right direction. Welcome to another edition of the Grossi Perna Show. I am Tom Grossi. That is Brandon Perna. And this is GPS.
I'll tell you what, the F in NFL does not stand for fun. Not here, not on this show.
Nope. There's no fun here.
Doesn't stand for family either.
No.
Just a weird shaped ball that bounces in odd ways.
That's it.
And some teams pay the price for even trying to throw it around, like the Buccaneers.
It's expensive.
Yeah.
Tariffs.
I will tariff the football.
All right. We broke. We made it 1 minute and 51 seconds. How the hell are we doing, folks? Welcome to another episode of GPS. We're rocking. We're rolling. We got some craziness in which I thought, and yes, the F does stand for flag. I thought that we weren't going to have a lot of shenanigans this morning. I was like, okay, Sunday Night Football, the Buccaneers, Cowboys should be able to take care of business. And by the end of that game, the Falcons are now in first place of the NFC South again. Buccaneers.
Atlanta, what are we doing? Crazy.
It ain't over yet, buddy.
Yeah, that got interesting.
Oh, mustard face. Yeah.
We're past that, mustard. Go suck out some ketchup.
Ooh.
We are past that.
We're past that. We're on to the Bengals.
God dang it. We're on to the Bengals. Hopefully that's a good thing.
Oh, hey, please. Bengals look good. Joe Burrow had a Superman throw yesterday. Just ridiculous. Jalen Hurts got concussed. The Commanders wound up pulling out a last-second victory against the Eagles. Lions fans very happy about that. We had a stumble-rooski. We had the Vikings and the freaking Seahawks going toe-to-toe. Sam Darnold gets them to 13 wins, which is the same amount of wins that he had with the Jets. Oh, boy. It was a crazy week in the NFL. And we still got a game tonight with the Green Bay Mother-Loving Packers. And by the way...
Do we have a game tonight? You're playing the Saints. Oh, my God.
Hey, Spencer Rattler apparently spent the morning in a walk-in freezer to prepare. So... I ain't looking past the Saints because, hey, they're still an NFL team. But I will say, to get ready for Vikings week.
Vikings fans' tears. Lame. Drink their pee like a man.
Well, I don't want to drink any urine.
But if you do, imagine what happened when you would then pee for the D.
I don't want to know.
That's the secret. Nobody knows it. Tom collects pee for whichever team he's peeing against.
Yeah, no. That's
you invented it, not me.
I just pee for the D. It works, and you've been the beneficiary of it many times. Yeah, so this is I love it because this is why rivalries are awesome, because you have Eagles fans who immediately came out and were like, well, if Jalen Hurts was healthy, we would have won a completely different ball game, which I think it is a completely different ball game.
Yes.
And then you have Commanders fans who are just like, oh, but your defense. And I think that's also true because while the defense was on the field a lot because their offense wasn't that amazing, talking about the Eagles, like the defense of the Eagles actually looked like a normal football team and not an insane juggernaut that we have seen for the past 8 or 9 weeks.
Kinda. They forced 5 turnovers.
They did.
They looked man.
Let's go. I've not seen
Not perfect. They looked not perfect. I think that's fair.
Yeah.
I think
There was some
Devontae Smith had a ball that went through his hands at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Probably seals it for the Eagles. It's weird because like I don't want to take away any credit from what Jayden Daniels did in that game because it was very impressive. Game on the line, did the thing you want your quarterback to do, and they lead a touchdown scoring drive there and they get the win. And he had, was it 5 touchdown passes?
5 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like he was
There's a total of 5 turnovers for the Commanders too. Like,
yeah,
a lot.
That's what I just said.
Yeah.
Eagles. It was, but yeah, like if you're Philly, you're just worried about, was it a concussion Hurts got? And now it's like, okay, well, they might have to play without him next week. Depends on the protocol, how bad the concussion was. So now you just want him to get healthy. And it's so funny, like Hurts was taking so much crap from Eagles fans too, by the way. And then he gets hurt and he's good again.
Yeah.
Hurts throw to anybody, dear God. Oh no, we lost because Hurts isn't playing.
Well, and this is like we talked about it on this show too, and I've been asked a bunch by Eagles fans because it seems like throughout the season Hurts has been criticized, and there's been times where like Hurts has not played well, 100%. Sure. But at the same time, like he is the guy who helps get that offense going because otherwise you are just leaning on Saquon Barkley, and even the threat of a passer is not going to be present. So you're going to become a one-dimensional offense. And yeah, I think for Eagles fans, the sky is not falling because yes, this could hurt their chances to get the number 1 seed. You're going to see the Vikings and Lions play week 18. That could be for the 1 seed. We'll see how crazy things get. Vikings still have to play the Packers. But I think at the end of the day, as long as Hurts is back, by the time the playoffs, which he should be, you're going to be fine. And what's the worst case scenario? You finish as the 2 seed.
Yeah. And Hurts is playing very similar to the way he did was it 2022 when they went 2022 season, they went to the Super Bowl. Oh God, hold on.
You gotta sneeze. Bless you. It was beautiful. That sounded like a loud one. Oh, blow your nose. Yep. Make sure you get all the boogies out. Yep. Shove it in there. Yep. Just dig around for gold. Yeah. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, great. You're good. Okay. Now make sure you throw that in the garbage.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Okay.
He's all out.
This is just who Hurts is. He's never going to throw like 35 touchdowns. 18 touchdowns, just 5 picks this season. That Super Bowl run, 22-6, safe with the ball, makes the plays, kind of when they need it. And now they got the weapon Saquon. So yeah, Eagles fans, they don't need to worry. They're not going to get the 1 seed. Jordan Love leaning into Toyotathon, which is now I'm scared since he acknowledged it. It's going to backfire, but this is pretty cool.
Also, Ronica, his fiance, leaving a comment. It is phenomenal. Yeah. So I woke up to it this morning. Could not be happier.
Yeah. Love's going to have a big game tonight. The Saints make a lot of quarterbacks look better than they really are. And I'm not saying Jordan Love is inflated. I'm saying he's going to put up some numbers tonight.
I think he's going to be all right. Dude, yeah, the Panthers have the opportunity to play spoiler to both these teams because both the Buccaneers and the Falcons got to play them. Because we'll talk about the Buccaneers in a second, but their remaining schedule, right? They got to play the Panthers and then the Saints. Then the Falcons, who they got flexed into prime time next Sunday night, they're going to be going up against the Commanders and Jayden Daniels, which now becomes a real interesting game. And then they finish against the Panthers. So I think the toughest opponent is going to be the Commanders still. Panthers got a big win yesterday. But if the Falcons can somehow beat the Commanders, oh boy.
Yeah.
Oh boy, things are going to get real interesting.
Dude, all the bottom 10 teams, which is the Raiders, the Giants.
I'll pull up the draft order.
Hold on, let me refresh this. Of all the bottom 10 teams, the Giants, the Patriots, the Jags, the Titans, the Browns, the Raiders, the Panthers, the Jets, the Bears, the Saints. Carolina is the one bottom 10 team you don't really want to play right now.
No.
They're the only team playing better than a bottom 10 team. And congratulations to the Raiders for royally fucking up their ability to pick one of the top 2 quarterbacks in this draft. Their biggest need, which is apparent to everyone, they go out and they win a game against Jacksonville, a game nobody would have blinked an eye if you lost, because everybody on earth knows you need to be picking 1 or 2. You can settle for 2. If you were just going from 1 to 2 with the victory there, that's fine. Okay, we've seen so many of, we got recent examples of the number 2 quarterback being the better option. But you idiots beat the Jags because they are the Jags. They're very beatable. And now you're sitting at 6. Man, I almost feel bad for Raiders fans.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the Giants are tanking miraculously. They have lost 10 straight. The Bears are trying, though. Bless their heart. They have lost 9 straight. So they're really, really trying. They're all the way down at 9, but they got 2 games left in this season.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, I will say, it was a great day for Patriots fans yesterday because especially that first half, they went toe-to-toe with the Bills, and they were winning that game. And Drake May looked good, and you still lost. You still get to keep the draft pick at number 2. So you're still going to get a high draft pick. So Patriots fans actually feeling a little bit of joy because you lost in the best way possible. May still look good. Go toe-to-toe with the Bills.
Honestly, with the Patriots.
Oh, yeah, Robert. Oh, yeah.
Listening to Drake May after the game kind of go to bat for Gerard Mayo, defend his coach. I liked it. I think that's a nice move by a rookie quarterback who obviously they don't want to say anything to get them in trouble. And you can't go wrong by supporting your head coach, obviously, but he stepped up and he made Drake's even through all these losing games. Let's go, Ben. He's shown flashes. He hasn't put together really complete games yet, but you see the talent. Honestly, his comp is probably closer to Josh Allen in terms of the way Drake kind of plays. He's not as physically big and as imposing as Josh, maybe by an inch or 2. Not quite there with the actual arm strength, but maybe it was just because their uniforms are similar colors. There's a couple times I was watching and he kind of looks like Josh Allen a little bit to me. But yeah, Pats fans, they got to feel good about it.
Yeah. Because again, they need an entire offense. They need to draft O-line, they need receiver. Maybe they'll go run back at some point. I like Stevenson, but yeah, they gotta draft an entire offense. But if you have that franchise QB, which there has been a lot of flashes, a ton of potential, really high ceiling here. Yeah, you're feeling good. Yes, I think it does, KK. I think it does. I think more hydration is a good thing, but you don't want to overuse it. So I feel like maybe the less frequency, the higher the potency.
Yeah, I mean, peeing though that's just releasing fluid that's no use to your body anymore. I don't think it actually helps keep you hydrated or not. If you want to get technical about it.
But I'm gonna pee the more that I'm hydrated. So if I just keep on drinking, I'm just gonna I'm peeing.
Sure.
So I'm saying the amount of pee or the amount of times that I pee.
Yeah,
that's going to make a difference. And say bottom, hell yeah, let's go. Appreciate.
I was actually explaining to Carm what a bladder was yesterday.
Oh,
she got very. What did? I think it was. We were talking about lungs, and then she's like, "Tell me more about the stuff inside my body." It's like, okay. So we did lungs, we did heart, we did stomach.
Okay,
bladder, intestines. Speaking of intestines and shitting, the Raiders again, Tom. This is why it'll really be bad because you go back to last season, end of the year. Who'd they beat? Broncos.
The Broncos, yes.
Who'd Broncos take? Quarterback. Now there's 2 guys the Raiders thought they could maybe get. Penix. Penix went off early. Bo Nix probably goes to the Raiders if we don't take him. That's fair. Maybe they didn't actually want Bo Nix. They get Brock Bowers. He's a stud. Jayden Daniels, Bo Nix, Brock Bowers, 3 best offensive rookies this season. But let's say they were going to take Nix.
Sure.
If they go 2 years in a row, and by winning meaningless games, they miss out on quarterbacks 2 years in a row, that's going to suck.
Yeah. It's not going to be the best.
Yeah. Thank you,
I got a
Stefan.
pity.
Thank you, Stefan. I appreciate you rooting for me. We will beat the Chiefs if we have to. I don't think we're going to beat those Bengals. The Browns played a respectable game. They had 2 touchdowns erased by mistakes. So a fumble at the goal line and an interception in the end zone gives me a little hope. But yeah, the Bengals, man, dude, their offense, that touchdown by Burrow, like you were saying,
disgusting.
We've in winners and losers, we give out the Patrick Mahomes award every week, which is a throw only Patrick Mahomes can make, but we point out another quarterback who actually made an insane throw. And in the logo Rachel made, it's the image of Mahomes flying right hovering above the turf, throwing that incompletion. Joe Burrow quite literally made the exact same only Mahomes throw that we built the fucking logo on, but he actually threw a touchdown, kids. So, you know.
And Burrow was like 23 for 30, 252, 3 touchdowns, got sacked 4 times. Hey, DTR got sacked 5 times. Look at you, Bengals defense. Look at you.
Yeah.
Getting it. Yeah, I think the Bengals, they're interesting because, of course, Saturday, we'll talk about these Saturday games too because we weren't around for that. But the Ravens beating the Steelers. So they finally got one. They lost 8 of their last 9. Finally got one. And the Ravens, they punched their ticket. The Steelers are now going to be playing the Chiefs on Christmas. So just 2 days, they're going to be playing them. Ravens going to be playing the Texans. The Bengals, they got the Broncos next. I think that they can win that game. I think that's going to be a tough game for both teams, but I think the Bengals can win that game. Then they got the Steelers week 18. So what's interesting, and Perna, this is what I wanted to ask you about the Chiefs. Are you like praying the Chiefs actually win against the Steelers on Wednesday so they got like nothing to play for when it comes to the Broncos?
Yeah. I mean, yes.
I'm going to get this clip for Stefan, by the way.
It's so tough, though, because it's a real... It is like, because if the Chiefs, if they win and they have nothing to play for, that means in the current situation, if the Broncos get into the playoffs, we got to play the Buffalo Bills. And I don't want to play the Bills for multiple reasons. 1, they're a better football team. 2, I love the Bills. And if I have to eliminate them from the playoffs and then say the Broncos have to play the Chiefs and then the Broncos lose to the Chiefs, if we take out the team that has one of the better chances of beating the Chiefs, Tom, and then we lose to the Chiefs and we're the reason the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl, I'm not going to be able to sleep at night. I will literally have night terrors about that. I don't want to eliminate the team that can be... And right now, the Steelers, I think they can hang with the Chiefs. I think the Ravens can beat the Chiefs, and I think the Bills can beat the Chiefs. And if for whatever fucking reason the Bengals get in, they can beat and hang with the Chiefs too. Those are all good teams. The Chiefs play close games, and the reason they win a lot of those close games is because the teams they are playing aren't as good, and they don't know how to close them out. But yeah, Denver just has to win. We just have to win one game to get in. But here's the thing about the Bengals too. They still need the Colts and the Dolphins to lose for them to jump them, because if the Broncos lose out and Miami and Indy continue to win, they're ahead of Cincy, and one of those teams gets in above them.
Because I just did a playoff video this past Friday. So if the Bengals win out, the Colts win out, and the Dolphins win out, which is very possible because the Colts and Dolphins don't have a particularly difficult schedule.
Yeah.
And the Broncos lose out, the Colts would get the 7 seed.
Yeah.
Hey, Jonathan Taylor looked real good yesterday.
We ride and we die together.
Yeah, so the Colts have the Giants and Jags. That's not cool for me.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like the remaining schedule for both the Dolphins and the Colts is not bad.
Who do the Dolphins play? They got the Browns and Jets. Jets might beat them.
Jets, you gotta be the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan ever.
Yeah. Hey. I don't wish ill will while he's playing. He just rips my heart out when he uses his dumb words. Just go back to being the snarky prick all the time who's got a funny quip here and there. But and the Jets are playing. They're like kind of trying.
Hold on.
Kind of trying. They want to kind of win a little.
Imagine after like the start of week 1 that you're like, hey, week 16, they're kind of trying. They're putting together an effort.
Yeah. Dude.
Something.
And now the drama there's with Garrett Wilson.
Say again?
He wants out.
Yeah, I'm curious of what's going to happen.
Roger's saying you're seeing which guys are like pros now, who really wants to be here. That's what we're learning about this team right now. And he's not wrong. No. He says the quiet thing out loud, and we all know who he's talking about. And yeah, it's we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I want to talk about. There's a couple games I want to get into. Hold on, real quick. Well, where was it?
I do want to talk about Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. Somebody mentioned it.
Oh, the MVP race? Yeah.
We'll get there, but I want to talk about it because it is silly, like everything.
Mm-hmm.
What were you going to say first? What were you going to want to talk about?
Let's go. No, there was a game I wanted to talk about. I totally had it in my mind, and then it completely... Can we talk about that Sunday night game?
Yeah, Bucks Cowboys was good.
Let's talk about that Sunday night game. Turned out to be good because you said about actually trying. Because Jerry Jones came out and credited Mike McCarthy, and he was like, hey, he's not letting those guys give up. And Cowboys fans, you hear it, don't you? You hear it in the wind.
I'm going to bring him back.
Extension.
I'm going to bring back Mike, and there's nothing you can do about it. I'm the rich guy. Fuck you. I'm bringing him back, Cowboys. Yeah. Jerry's back. You got the salt on the McGriddle, and you're going to eat my salty McGriddle with Mike McCarthy. Oh.
Happy belated birthday, David.
Yeah, that's my Jerry Jones.
Yeah, dude. First of all, kudos to the Cowboys defense because they came to play yesterday. They were really, really good.
You couldn't hear it because you were live streaming, but credit Chris Collins worth.
Dramatic pause.
Yeah,
worth.
I was writing this morning. This is what I wrote for winners and losers. Listening to Chris Collinsworth watch those defenses hit each other last night. It was like listening to him commentate Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen take a bath together because like he was that excited, Tom. He was, and it was nice. Like
Nathan.
He was referencing like Ronnie Lott, and I was like, I wonder how many younger people watching even know who Ronnie Lott is now. Like we're getting to that point where like that was like a kind of an he was like on the back end of his career when I was like a kid. Like that's an old school reference, but the Cowboys and the Bucks defense, especially late in that game, it was defense making play, except for the touchdown Dallas gave up to, was it Scotty Miller? Scotty Miller went in there for nobody covered him.
No, not Scotty Miller. No, that's hold on.
You're talking about Miller?
McMillan.
No, the final touchdown was Miller.
Oh, Miller. Oh, Ryan Miller. You're talking about? Yes,
is it Ryan Miller?
See, yeah, it's Ryan Miller.
Who the fuck he is?
Yeah, Scotty's not on that team no more.
No, I saw the Packers and then that was Miller, and I thought it was Scotty. Ryan Miller.
That's Ryan
Nobody
Miller.
Covered his ass, probably because they don't know he exists. But touchdown late, and then you saw Vita Vea,
bro,
make some tackles in coverage.
Coming out of what was that on Ferguson? Like Ferguson like broke a tackle and he's like, I'm running. And Vita Vea just comes out of nowhere and smashes into him.
Yeah.
I don't think because Ferguson, I was like, oh man, he's gonna get this first down. Vita Vea is like, not on my watch, he's not.
No.
Running out into coverage and obliterated him. And even though he has hurt my soul many times, the amount of respect I have for Vita Vea as a player, dude. It is significant. Can you imagine Vita Vea chasing you down? I'd be like, here's the ball. Here you go. Nope.
Yep.
Nope. That's a business decision.
Dude, Cavante Turpin had to run right into Vita Vea.
We'll see.
And that's got to be the biggest mismatch of weight distribution between two players. Like, Turpin's listed at 153.
Yeah.
Vita Vea, 347. If I'm Cavante, I fall down.
It's like a 200-pound
Vita
difference.
does not fall on me.
Yeah.
So Turpin went out there in coverage, and then of course there's the strip to end the game for Dallas. Bland played well. Their defense played the way we thought they'd be playing pretty much all season, and why they would be like a respectable football team this year. And Cooper Rush he's played pretty decent football through the outside of that first start. He's been all right. Dude, that final play though. And Buccaneers fans were like, this is just the team we are. Everyone's like if you're complaining or if you're saying something about that play, it was like waves of Bucs fans been like, this is us every week, guys. Like, sorry.
Just like dig themselves into a hole and they're like, watch us dig ourselves out. And this time they're like, crap, because Baker Mayfield, there was a number of fumbles in that game that bounced the Buccaneers' way because Baker had a fumble before that and it bounced out of bounds before the Cowboys recovered it. Then this one, I thought he got sacked because he gets swarmed by the Cowboys and he somehow gets it to Rachaad White, who then gets, of course, stripped and it winds up being a fumble. And the Buccaneers still can be fine. And I think with their remaining schedule, like I said, they got the Panthers, they got the Saints. Panthers took them into overtime last time, so who knows? The Panthers won yesterday. But, bro, the Falcons are number 1 in the NFC South, and if they beat the Commanders, oh, no. I think that's going to be a very tall order. Yeah. But this was a bad game for the Buccaneers to lose. Yeah, it was you don't want it. Because I was like, the NFC South's done. I was like, it's the Buccaneers. The Falcons look bad. Well, they played the Giants, and we'll talk about Penix in a moment. But yeah, no, dude, like this was a bad game. And again, kudos to the Cowboys defense because they came ready to play. It's a little too late for Dallas. Obviously, they're eliminated, but they're building on something. I wish we were able to maybe give Scooter more shit on Thursday about how bad they are, but their defense is looking good. And then just the whole last 7 minutes of that game, because Baker Mayfield throws an interception, right? He takes a shot into the end zone, and he's like, Baker's gonna sling it, and he is so fun to watch. And it was just a good play by Dallas. It was 1-on-1. Ripped it out of his hands. His receiver there. Dallas makes a play. Interception in the end zone. That was like 6-7 minutes in the game. I'm like, okay, I think it's over now. But then you got Vita Vea. I think it was after that is when Vita Vea made the tackle, right? Or was that the series before? It was close. Either way, Tampa gets a stop. The Buccaneers get a stop after that. Then Buccaneers score with that wide open, not Scotty Miller touchdown. Then they get another stop. Yep. They get the ball back, and they played it perfectly. They had enough time. It was a little less than 2 minutes. And you're right. Like, Baker does this magical escape. I was like, oh shit, he's sacked. He's sacked. He's sacked. He's staying alive. Oh God, he's going to pitch it out to Rachaad White. Oh God, Rachaad White, he got it. And then White's running with the ball like this. Then he goes to put it in, and it's too late. Dallas pops it out. They make a great defensive play and in the game. But in terms of like a game I didn't really care about, because like you, I thought Tampa was going to win it. Yeah. It was good. It was a good Sunday night game, and it was good for a lot of the defense was crazy good. There was enough points scored that made it interesting. I think Baker Mayfield's going to make any game interesting. And now Tampa better pray to God they win out, because the Falcons are this close to sneaking their Penix into the playoffs, Tom. And Michael Penix starting a playoff game over Kirk Cousins, that's some drama. That's some drama if that actually happens. We thought the Falcons moved on to Penix because, Cousins been bad. But
if they keep winning, they get in.
I'm trying to. Oh, so if the Broncos, Commanders, and Falcons make it, bro, we had 3 rookie quarterbacks in the postseason. That's pretty
if
fun.
the Broncos miss the playoffs and Penix and
Oh
Jayden are in,
man. Listen, I'm just gonna say
and
this.
Drake may just say wins the last 2 games and throws for like 400 yards in each game, and everybody's gonna be like, haha, Bo Nix sucks, nerd.
Yep.
I'm gonna hate it.
GD, Patriots fans, be happy today.
It's like, like buttholes, everybody has one.
That was awesome.
Dude, I swear to God, Mike McCarthy's got to be. He's got to be one of maybe him and Mike McDaniel are the 2 coaches that smoke a ton of weed. I can imagine Mike McDaniels.
Oh, McDaniel, 100%. Yeah.
I mean, sorry, Mike McCarthy too. Mike McCarthy, he has a giant beer first, He has maybe a pitcher of beer first, and then he rolls himself a spliff. McDaniels, he probably starts with it. But the way he laughs, you can't tell me he is not partaking. That's just my theory.
Yeah. I want to talk about Penix real quick, too, going up against the Giants, because I was watching a good chunk of that game, then I went back and just watched him. And he didn't have a bad game. I think that the offense was schemed really well to him to not give him the most difficult things in the world, but he made some nice throws, had an interception. But again, it's going against the Giants, so we're going to take this with a grain of salt. But if you're the Falcons, you're excited, except for, Kyle Pitts.
Hey, Penix, nice pass. Not.
We only celebrate Toyota-thon in this house. Yeah. Kyle Pitts.
I'm done with Kyle Pitts, man.
I don't know who tweeted it. I saw it yesterday, and it was just that was a rookie mistake from Penix thinking that Kyle Pitts could catch the ball. And I was like, well done. Well played.
Yeah.
Well played. Yep. There's a little optimism because, again, obviously it's his first start. Yes, it is against the Giants. But if you could start getting that offense going, and like I said, if you can pull off the upset and beat the Commanders on Sunday Night Football, oh boy, it's going to get real crazy in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It's going to get real crazy.
That'll be a fun game to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know. Need to see more from Penix.
Yeah.
Obviously.
18 for 27, 202, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception. Wasn't sacked either. Had 127 rushing yards total for the Falcons, so that's damn solid. And again, it's against the worst team in football right now. So I'm not crowning anybody, but it's also, okay, let's see how they look against the Commanders, who just got to win against the Eagles.
Yeah, it's his first start. You'd argue he should have played better against the Giants. I mean, Drew Lock gifted him. Was it 2 pick sixes in that game? Poor Lock. Poor Drew Lock. But the weird thing is, okay, let's say the Falcons win the next 2 games. Okay, they win the NFC South. And let's say it kind of starts to click for Michael Penix. He gets this very interesting window in the playoffs where rookie quarterbacks, before opposing defensive coordinators really can understand their tendencies, they kind of have this magical little window where you see them play really great football. Mm-hmm. And it's because you don't know who they are yet. And Penix might hit that at just I'm not trying to give Falcons fans hope that they can go into the postseason and, make some noise, but it could kind of line up that way where Penix has a bit of an advantage. And I'm not saying it's this giant advantage, but I don't know. It was an interesting move, and now that they won, it's even more interesting. So at least it makes that last spot have some intrigue, because other than that, it feels pretty stale.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, again, I think we got to see what happens on Sunday night. Sunday night, they win, totally different ball game, and we're talking about the Falcons in a very different way heading into the last week of football.
Yeah, just evaluate.
This one, I think it's going to, first, Fields was traded, right? So they're out of trade for there. Kenny Pickett is making a total of, he has a $1.9 million contract in 2024. Sam Darnold's getting paid $10 million. So I think that's going to play a huge role there.
Yeah.
Dobbs, I don't know about that.
Doesn't matter. This is irrelevant. Philly, you already won a Super Bowl with your backup quarterback. You're not gonna get to do it again.
Mm-hmm.
You could have fucking prime Joe Montana as your backup. You have wasted your backup quarterback winning you a Super Bowl. Like, if Jalen Hurts ain't playing, just say the season's over. But if you do win it with a backup again, I will obviously retract everything I just said. Anything's possible. Actually, one of the funniest things that could happen for Steelers fans is watching the Eagles beat them in the Super Bowl with Kenny Pickett. That would be a dream Super Bowl.
Oh, boy.
The state of Pennsylvania might not survive, Tom.
I don't think it would. Dude,
the Liberty Bell might just crack all the way through, and we'll
crack. So this is that Lamar and Josh Allen MVP. Like, I think it's going to come down to these last 2 weeks. I think it's going to come down to the last 2 weeks. Let's see how they both play, because the Bills got to play the Patriots again. They play them again week 18, so it's going to be a quick turnaround for them. But I think you can make arguments for either. I think it's just been Josh Allen ever since the 6 touchdown performance has really kind of just been pushed. At the end of the day, folks, like, it's all coming down to these like random ass journalists who are going to be voting for this. So it's whoever has the most publicity is probably going to wind up winning this thing.
Yeah, I think like there's people look at it in a couple ways. And one, it's become like which quarterback has the best stats. That's kind of like what it's turned into. And Lamar Jackson has the best QB stats this season.
Don't drink pee.
Yeah, there's no arguing that. Lamar Jackson is also playing like the best quarterback in the league most weeks. But if you're talking about like most valuable player, it's like if you take Josh Allen off the Bills right now, they are dead. They are dead in the water with their no number one receivers. They're like, he is more of their offense than Lamar Jackson is the Ravens' offense. And that is more true this year because Derrick Henry has been absolutely insane for the Ravens. And while Lamar Jackson threw 5 touchdowns in that game, Derrick Henry also had 162 rushing yards in that game. Derrick Henry is making Lamar Jackson's job easier this year. And that's not a knock on Lamar. That's just a good fucking offense. They are a very complete offense at their peak. And I would like also argue like, right now, like Zay Flowers is a better weapon than the Bills have in their receiving game. Khalil Shakir is nice, but I don't think he's as good as Zay Flowers. And what the debate comes down to so many times is like the person making the argument isn't so much making the case for the guy that they want, because there's bias there, right? Like, I want Josh Allen to win it because I like the Bills. He hasn't won it yet, and he's incredibly important to that team. Lamar's won it twice. So there's bias in the way that I look at it. But so many people, they try to make the argument by discrediting the other player versus really focusing on what the guy they want to win is doing well. And if you look at Lamar and Josh Allen, I don't think you can say either one of those guys is doing anything poorly right now. If Lamar wins it, he's earned it this season. If Josh Allen wins it, he's earned it this season. I really don't give a fuck which guy actually wins the award, because I would give numerous body parts to have either one of those men quarterbacking my team. And they're a little bit different, but they both have some insane similar traits too. And I think it's like, just to appreciate it. If you want to get real interesting, you got to throw in freaking Joe Burrow as an actual MVP candidate, because the Bills defense been good this year. Bills offensive line been insane. The Ravens defense has gotten better through the course of the season, but Joe has done more with less in terms of what he's getting from his defense. If you're talking about MVP, you take Joe Burrow off the Bengals, they are picking top 5, maybe. I don't know. Browning, like maybe even Jamar Chase. Like, Will and I were texting about a script, and I said like I could throw a touchdown pass to Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase is literally like one of the best receivers in the league. That definitely helps.
But like, I think Derrick Henry has done so much for the Ravens. That's the one thing that's going to work against Lamar, even if it's not completely fair. But
yeah,
they're both insane. Like, they're both insane. Except Lamar, I said this is what I hate about Lamar. I said he is seeing the field better than he ever has before. 5 minutes later, he throws just that terrible interception. Damn it, Lamar.
Yeah, that's fair. That's
Luckily,
fair.
Russ one-upped him, so.
Yeah, I think in terms of just that MVP race, dude, Saquon Barkley could beat the rushing record. Yeah, like Saquon's in there too. We're just talking about quarterbacks because there's obviously a heavy QB bias in this league. But
Saquon closed out that game for Philly this week, we would be saying he is the MVP.
I still think there's an argument there. I mean, right, you could have argued CMC, I think, could have won it last year. And Lamar is having a better year this year than he is MVP campaign. So CMC could have gotten it. Derrick Henry could have gotten it a few years back. But it's likely just going to go to a quarterback, just like offensive rookie of the year.
Yeah.
Right there. That's kind of heating up as well, because offensive rookie, Jayden Daniels, after yesterday, his name is at the top of that list. But you have Brian Thomas Jr., you have Brock Bowers, those guys definitely. Brock Bowers, I think, has definitely earned that recognition. So we'll see how the final 2 weeks play out. Yeah. But
again, the NFL does the offensive player of the year, right?
Too much work to do.
Don't they do offensive player of the year?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that's where your non-quarterback gets the award usually. So Saquon probably could win offensive player of the year, and then Lamar or Josh will win MVP. But dude, if Joe Burrow gets him into the playoffs, people kind of got to talk about that too.
Dude, yeah, if he can will that team there, that would be pretty crazy.
How dare you, Noah? I'm Jerry Jones. Dude, that's not how I sound when I poop. Dude, I wish Hello Tushy was sponsoring today, because boy, did that come in clutch before the show, Tom. My latest poop in months. Latest poop.
Oh, just close to showtime, you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Woke up a little. Everything was off this morning.
Yeah. But that bidet just flushed it all out.
Woo. Love it.
There you go. Also, Cardinals, 49ers, Cowboys eliminated for the playoffs. 49ers and Cowboys were eliminated before they even had to play. And the Cardinals losing to the Carolina Panthers. The Rams putting a lot of pressure on them. And unfortunately, it makes this Saturday night game really not too interesting, because Cardinals lost. They're already out of it. But man, Cardinals fans, a bunch of disappointment today. I had them as the dark horse. Maybe they could potentially get a wild card spot, but no.
Yeah, no surprise. Another bird lost. Yeah, Arizona blew it, man. They blew it. Dude, okay. One, Bryce Young. Did you see him truck that dude? Did you see Bryce Young truck a dude?
You know how difficult it is for Bryce Young to truck a dude?
He ran through a Marshawn Lynch guy's face. Okay. He took a absolute shot when he was throwing to Tommy Trimble. He got up, he looked over to the sideline and smiled like a crazy person. You got to feel good about Bryce Young.
Oh, yeah.
But Arizona, man,
let's go Cordell.
They lose the toss in overtime. Their defense gets a stop in overtime. They convert a 4th and 2 in overtime. And then they end up in 4th and 28 after converting a 4th and 28, backed up to their own goal line. They got a punt away and they lose. So that was bad. But congrats to the Panthers for finally closing out a game. We've seen them almost do it. I swear it's been 5 weeks in a row. They're Carolina almost did it. Well, you did it. And that's a team also we did not expect to be heading into the offseason with optimism.
Correct.
Something to build on. And if you're a Panthers fan, who knows what next season holds, but you got to feel good about having a great draft pick and showing something.
Well, because, Bryce had a good game, and this is what's frustrating, because yes, they couldn't close out those games, but there was close games against contending teams.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? They're going to beat the Cowboys last week. And then
that was the one they
suck against the Cowboys. So I was like, okay, Cardinals are going to win this week. And then Bryce Young has a great game. Defense has a good game. Perna got a 50, by the way. Speaking of the Panthers.
Oh, look at that. I was hyping you up. Keep pounding Carolina.
Pounded.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I will always be grateful for the Panthers handing the Broncos a Super Bowl. And I did not feel bad for Cam Newton saying he still gets hate for not trying to recover that fumble.
So if he was either alive, now he's dead, or he was dead, he was really dead. What else matters? What else matters? You walk through it. Everybody either puts a thumb up or thumb down.
Everybody, we will have a Tim Tebow reference in Winners or Losers, so stay tuned.
Hey, there you go. There you go. Hey, that's what I have called him the purple incarnation of Satan. Let's talk about that game. So the Vikings Seahawks game.
Yeah.
That fourth quarter was pretty damn wild. Also, Sam Darnold to Justin Jefferson.
Looking hot. Feeling hot. The Vikings are fun. I know you hate it, but the Vikings are fun. Sam Darnold is probably the best story of this season. Jefferson, 2 touchdowns in that game, right?
Over 140 yards. Yep. That last touchdown grab,
You mentioned the 13 wins for Darnold, right? Same amount as he had as a Jet, but also in his first season with his new team, he joins Peyton Manning, and I believe it was Steve McNair as the only quarterback to get 13 wins their first season there. So
ton of credit to Darnold, ton of credit to KOC.
Yeah, that was a tough game. Like, Seattle brought it for the most part. But they're dangerous. Them Vikings are dangerous. And their defense, I thought when I heard the stat, I thought it was they said the wrong thing. But their defense has 30 takeaways this season. I was like, that can't be right.
Dude,
They said 30? 30?
The NFC North be taking that ball away, baby. They be doing it.
Turnover every week for Minnesota.
It's what grievances do I want to air? None, because I want the Packers to clinch a playoff spot tonight.
Yeah.
So I won't have grievances if that happens.
Did you happen to see the shred line? Barstool does this thing called the shred line, and it's Portnoy, it's John Gruden, and I forget who else is in there. But
is he complaining about Greg Olson?
Yeah, fans just call in and go on a rant about something, and this fan just ripped into Greg Olson for calling the Eagles game, and he's like, "Yeah, we're not playing well because our fucking quarterback's not in the game, Greg." And Greg just quote tweeted it laughing, and it's like, that's why I love Greg Olson. He just gets ripped by this dude. He's like, this is hilarious. Anyway, what were you gonna say?
I don't. Oh, the Vikings
have none.
No, because the Packers might, clinch a playoff spot tonight. That's all that matters. I think that game against Seattle, it was a close game. You had 2 lead changes in the fourth quarter, and Seattle had an opportunity to go down the field, and Geno threw a bad interception. I will say, only sacked twice, Geno, so that's positive. But the problem, once again, they had no run game. There was no run game to be found. And I think that Kenneth Walker came back. I think he had under 60 yards. But that's the problem, that they give it to Geno, who threw the ball almost 50 times, if I'm not mistaken, right? It was around there.
I don't know.
It was 43 times, excuse me.
That's
so
pretty good. I mean, that's
43 times, and you're going to live and die with Geno Smith. And they're in an interesting position, the Seahawks, what they're going to do in the offseason, and they have decisions to make. But I think the Seahawks are ultimately going to be fine, but it's them still contending for a spot yesterday hurts. And for the Vikings, man, like I said, you got to give KOC a ton of credit. You got to give Sam Darnold a ton of credit. I cannot wait for next week. I cannot wait.
I think Seattle, more than any decent team, needs a dominant offensive line to be good in the current version of who they are with Geno.
I agree.
They need to be they do. They need to be able to run the ball 25 times a game. And they can't. And that last interception by Geno, I think it was Barks put in the script, because Geno was kind of pissed off after. I was like, maybe it was DK's fault. And I was looking at it, and I think Geno's expecting Metcalf to cut towards the sideline, right? They have very little time. And if you watch the route, DK I don't think he's really trying as hard as he can. and he kind of just like turns in instead of going to the sideline where Geno was throwing the ball, thinking his receivers gonna be like, we got to get out of bounds, stop the clock. So I think that's like miscommunication because it just looked like a terrible throw. But yeah, and it was kind of like they got an extra opportunity there, but they had already lost the game. And Darnold, that touchdown pass
to Jefferson,
like Darnold was a little banged up then. He took a shot on that throw, split two defenders. It was as impressive of a throw as you can make.
Yep. It was a good throw. It's a good catch. Justin Jefferson is just a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like next week is going to be super fun. And I'm wondering, so this was on this comment right here. I would not be surprised because I was reminded yesterday, I forget that we have week 18 Saturday games. I thought that they'd take that Saturday off. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's Seahawks Rams Saturday night, and then we're going to have Lions Vikings Sunday night. Like we are ramping up. And I know you mentioned this, what was it, a couple weeks ago? They're like, oh, the playoff race is kind of boring. This is where like it's getting exciting because especially with the Commanders winning yesterday, like that number 1 seed is like not sealed up. And I think again, it's going to be so important. Then you have the AFC. Are the Broncos going to make it? Are the Bengals sneak in? Are the Colts going to make it? You know what I mean? Like there's things that are coming down to the wire and there's actual like stakes in these games. And like I said, Packers Vikings next week. I know that's biased, but like I can't wait for that game. Like it's going to be so much fun.
Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, the Lions want the 1 seed so they can rest a week, and they need it. The Bills have a ton of injuries in their secondary as well. They had like, oh my god, because DeMar Hamlin left the game. Taylor Rapp's out. Somebody else got hurt. I was like, damn, that's a lot of injuries there. So a lot of teams need that bye to get healthy, right? Vikings or Lions, like I don't really care who gets that 1 seed in terms of like I think both teams are they're both gonna play well if they're at home or on the road. Like I don't worry too much about that for those teams. But the other game that could be kind of interesting is Broncos Chiefs in terms of like flexing that final game. Even if the Chiefs are resting, like if the Broncos got to win to get in, like is that for the NFL? Is that an interesting game to put into that time slot? Like I don't know because that game's not scheduled yet either. So we'll see. There's interesting seeding games, but
hang on, Nathan.
I don't know. We'll see.
Dude, these last 2 weeks are going to get nuts. They're going to get wild. I'm super excited. Okay, this is where it gets exciting. Even both Christmas games, I think, are going to be really good.
Yeah, those are great games.
Chiefs Steelers, that's going to be a lot of fun. Then you have the Ravens Texans, of course. Tank Dell injury. Oh my God, dude. Like that.
Yeah, that's
horrific.
Did they give an update on that?
The last thing
I know it was a dislocated kneecap, right?
Yes, that was the last thing. He was released from the hospital, so he's heading back to Houston.
Yeah.
So
I think like let's see here.
It's true. It's true.
Because like with that, right? When you dislocate your kneecap, you're at risk of tearing some of the ligaments that hold your fucking kneecap in place. And it's kind of weird this happened against the Chiefs because Mahomes dislocated his kneecap on a QB sneak against the Broncos. And we're like, oh God, his season's over. But because he has stretchy or bendy ligaments or whatever, like he was back in 3 weeks. And Tank's dislocation looked worse, obviously. But if there's like minimal damage to his ligaments, and I haven't seen an update on it, like there's a little bit of hope there. When it happened, people are like, he broke his femur. It's a compound fracture, like because you could tell like something was up with his knee. But maybe there's like a scenario where like the news gets a little bit better as it kind of goes off. Unless there's like an update about it, I haven't seen yet. But that just sucks too because he caught the fucking ball and he held on to it too. Like that's what it was a crazy catch without the injury, but you put that in the mix, like, and the things that Tank's been through over the last year, he broke his leg last year. He got shot this offseason. Then this happens. Like, that's just a guy you want to see, like, get some good freaking luck, man.
Yeah. Come back and kick ass, man. Like, and I was saying this too, obviously, by the way, only 1 interception for Jared Goff since that 5 interception performance. But I think it's crazy because Tank Dell is obviously like a really great player. With Stephon Diggs out too, you're like, okay. And Nico Collins, he was injured earlier this year and he came back. Like it just seems like we haven't seen the Texans at full strength. And I know a lot of Texans fans are looking at Bobby Slowick and are like, I don't like our offensive coordinator, which I think is fair.
But you mean one of the hottest offensive coordinators last year that was considered for head coach?
Yeah, that one.
CJ's got to stop making bad. Like he threw 2 bad interceptions in that game too.
Yeah. He did. Perna did finish the East Saga.
I finished it. We talked about it in Tom's $100,000 charity stream. Didn't even give Tom his props to start the show, but Tom did $100,000 raised. You guys did that with him. But yes, I finished the East Saga. It has been finished.
I believe the
and I gave it 58 on Rotten Tomatoes.
58. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You get a
I grade on a scale of 1,000 though, so
that's tough.
But 0 is the best you can get.
Because at the time, Everett, it was crazy. It was craziness. It was lunacy at the time. They hadn't done anything yet. But yes, Commanders.
I knew it, Everett. I knew it all along. I was right. Dude, Will and I were right about a lot of things this season because we did a video, everything we got wrong.
Yeah.
And Will's like, do you know how many of these predictions we actually nailed? Mostly Will nailed them. I just agreed and be like, yeah, that sounds pretty good. I put in a couple. Like the batshit crazy ones are the ones that we got wrong, but I don't think we've ever been more right about a season. So
hell yeah.
Credit us.
Go back, go baby. Go back, go
right. I can't say I know it'll probably be another 5 years before I can say that. So that's why I'm taking my victory lap.
No, I mean, yeah, that's fair. Commanders have the word. Well, Nick's offensive rookie of the year. I don't think he's going to get it. But dude,
if he lights it up against the Bengals and Chiefs, maybe. But it's Jayden. Jayden's the better quarterback. Jayden's played better than Bo Nix. He does.
Yes,
he's more of a threat when he runs. He's been a better passer. So yeah, it's Jayden. And Nix he's fine. Well, we don't need him to win Rookie of the Year. We just need to get in the playoffs.
I also can I say about the Lions and Vikings and how that rivalry is really heating up. It's just fantastic. I'm just sitting here as a Packers fan, just going, I
wanted to ask you something. Do you as Packers fans take credit for the trick play the Lions ran?
Do we take credit for it?
Yeah. Did you see the thing about like there was a play where Jordan Love stumbled and threw a touchdown?
Yeah.
And I think somebody tweeted like the Lions saw Jordan Love do that.
Trying to be us.
Can we actually do that on purpose?
Dude.
So this was a Packers play.
I think it's hysterical because one, like the snow globe play that the Chiefs ran against the Raiders, which is honestly just disrespectful in the best way possible.
Yeah, to the Raiders, you deserve
in the best
to do
way
it.
possible. It's just like, again, the Saints giving it to Jamal Williams to get a touchdown instead of kneeling it and scoring a touchdown. Best way possible. The fact that it happened against the Bears is absolutely hysterical because the fact that the Lions go, okay, we're going to have this play where I think they wanted like a fake fumble, whatever, but they agreed to a stumble. And to call that against Chicago, in Chicago, in front of their fans, I will say, Lions.
Dude, the fact that Ben Johnson was asking Goff, can you fumble it to yourself?
No joking.
That's a madman request. And if the Lions lose, like the reason Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell worked so well together is they're both fucking insane, I think, Tom.
Yeah, that might be it.
I think Dan's going to hire his next coach just by taking a look at his balls. Like if they lose Ben Johnson, whatever offensive coordinator shows he has the biggest testicles is the man Dan hires to replace Ben Johnson.
I don't know if you could do that in an interview process.
Oh, if you can.
Appreciate you, Yankees.
It's how I got 3 jobs.
By examining or being the examiner?
I was the examiner. I mean, I was the examine.
I was going to say, that's how you got 3 jobs?
Very impressive balls I have.
King Andrew. Happy Festivus.
Oh, yeah. Andrew. My favorite bearded Andrew.
Let's go.
Let
Let's
me
go.
let me find one.
Mm.
Forgot about that guy.
I forgot about that clip. Andrew, happy Festivus. Happy freaking Festivus. Yeah, dude, that's but again, like I think you need a balanced attack because you need to just be able to control the clock too. So the Seahawks feel like there's pieces that are there. I'm curious to see what the hell they're gonna do in the offseason. So I'm just saying. Oh yeah, that's right, Brandon. Oh boy, if the Broncos don't make the playoffs after calling the AFC playoffs boring,
the playoff race is boring.
King
But
Andrew
if we get in, it's tight.
Boop. Anyone else spend Sunday evening looking for Brandine's OnlyFans?
This Brandine. There
And
you
you're
go,
Jerry
Andrew.
Jones? You're Jerry Brandine?
No,
Jones?
that's Cletus. That's Brandine is Cletus's wife in The Simpsons.
Oh, there it is. There.
Poser.
USA.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
USA.
Appreciate that.
And
You can answer the second.
Jess calls me Brandy a lot, so I was going to go with Brandy, and I was like, no, it'd be funnier if it's Brandine.
Boo.
Did you do the reveal? Did it happen
Yes.
at the end of the stream?
Yeah, so it wound up happening because YouTube only records the first 12 hours of a stream.
Oh,
We found this out during the International Stadium Tour stream. When I came back, I streamed for 15 hours. Yes, so I uploaded the last 90 minutes to the Tom Grossi Clips channel. So yes, there was the big reveal.
You have a Tom Grossi Clips channel?
Started a few weeks ago because I was like, you know what? Just for stuff that I already put out so much content that like extra stuff, whether it's like compilation of like stream stuff like that. I said, why not put it out there? Yeah, it's got like
Interesting.
subs already. Why not?
Nice.
Why not? Why not?
Yeah, I think we had our first 100,000 viewed video on GPS clips that
Hey,
Grossi posted up there when we were baffled by that fair catch kick.
Oh yeah. Oh, Justice Hill. Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. Yeah, dude. Well, hold on, real quick. Brian Tom. Yes, I would say he should be in the conversation for Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like he's having a really good season too, and he is one of the best. Let me rephrase that. He is the only part of that Jaguars offense right now that exactly makes it worth watching. Yeah. Also, that Jaguars Raiders game. Yeah, that was offensive. That was offensive to everything.
Yeah, I don't think you can actually be in the conversation if you're playing on a team that's as bad as the Jags or the Raiders. And it's probably a little bit more impressive being like a bright spot on a bad team because you're probably having to work even harder to succeed there. It should get more credit, but like there's nobody out there who's going to, there might be like one person who votes for Brian Thomas, maybe a couple for Brock Bowers because, he's had a historic season as a rookie tight end, but not on those teams. They'll never get the proper credit.
I agree.
But it makes sense as well.
I mean, like even you just mentioned Joe Burrow, right? Like Joe Burrow, what he's doing on a Bengals team, which is obviously not great on both sides of the ball. Like, but he's not really being mentioned a ton in the MVP conversation.
No, it's so win and loss kind of. It's stat based and then win and loss based, and you can kind of flip flop those two on what people look at. But like Burrow leads the league in passing yards, 4,200, leads the league in touchdowns, 39 touchdown passes. That's Lamar even trails him by 2 TDs. Now Burrow has 8 picks. Lamar higher passer rating. Joe higher completion percentage.
Rushing yards from Lamar too, of course.
Yeah, you always factor that in with Lamar and Josh Allen. But like, Burrow's been insane.
McFarland, again, I'm not trying to take away anything from Penix. Like, that's why this Commanders game is going to be a great test to see, like, okay, like how good is he in his second start? For a first start, I don't think you could have asked for anything more from Penix.
Yeah.
You're also going up against the worst team. So you take that as a caveat and go, okay, let's see what they got against Washington. Happy holidays, young.
Yeah.
Happy holidays.
And again, he should have. It's hard to say high level pro stuff against a high school equivalent football team, which the Giants are.
Ew, I do not want to see the Eagles and Chiefs again. I'm saying this as a Packers fan. If the Packers can't be there, Lions Bills is going to be a much better football game.
Yeah.
I just have no interest.
No. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles in the Super
Forever.
Bowl again if it were against a team that's not the Chiefs.
Like the
But,
Bills.
Yeah, Eagles-Bills
Bills
would be a
be fun.
fun game. That'd be a crazy game, I think.
Hey, that was contentious last time they played. So, Christian, let's go. Yeah, folks, tonight, of course, I'll be streaming, but we got the Saints-Packers at Lambeau. It's already snowing in Green Bay, Wisconsin right now. It's supposed to be a little chilly tonight. So, if Packers win, they're in. They punch their ticket to the postseason. Let's go. Perna, what do you got coming out tonight, my friend?
Winners and losers will be out tonight. And then Power Ranking is going to be a day late this week. Oh, there won't be a GPS Wednesday. It is Christmas. I will not
I was
be
going to
working
ask you if we were doing one.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll be back on Friday. But yeah, winners and losers tonight.
There we go. I'll be putting out if the NFL was scripted. Week 16 will come out later tonight. Streaming tonight's game. Every NFL fan's reaction to Week 16 is going to come out tonight, and Packers postgame going to come out tonight. If the Packers wind up losing or something crazy happens, I'll do a reaction too, but we're going to try to get there.
That's a lot, baby.
Yeah, we got a lot to do. A lot to do today. But folks, I'll see you later tonight. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Tom Grossi. That's Brandon Perna, and this is GPS. And you have been navigated.
When you have reached your when I need now.